What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do a channeled reading. Okay, this is your general collective channeled reading. Okay, so it's not really sign specific, however, I will be mentioning having some honorable mentions towards the end. Okay, remember, you guys, these are general messages, they are not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay. So I was pretty much just sitting in the energy a little bit and just wrote down some messages on my index card here. Okay. Um, I am on a kind of like spiritual vacation, so all the primary readings that I normally do are postponed until February just to give me a little bit of a breather. However, you will be able to go on the channel and look up the energy shout outs, which are sign specific at random. And then we have the channeled messages here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get to it. Um, the honorable mentions for this reading, I'm going to go ahead. I was going to wait till the end, but I'm getting this feeling that I need to mention them now. So if you are a Taurus or Pisces sun sign, this will be for you possibly. Or Cancer with it's a seventh house placement with Cancer. Okay, seventh house is friends and contracts. Okay, so business wise, all right, which these readings are pretty much kind of geared towards that. So I'm going to start off with the first message. I'm not going to be specific on which sign is for what. If it rocks with you, then take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay, so don't forget that. All right. So the first message is kind of in regards to like musically related type of situation. Someone is going to or has referred another person to you. Okay, so maybe some kind of collaborative effort or something like that, in regards to some upcoming music that you're creating. Mostly they're trying to provide opportunities for others. Okay, maybe because you've collabed with this person before and they know of someone else that could possibly help you with a project. Okay, unfortunately, it is not the right fit for you. That referral is not really going to work out with what you're trying to accomplish, but you can pass them to someone else that would benefit more than you would. Okay, so there's someone else that obviously, again, like I said, very music related situation. um, that person's music really doesn't vibe with you too well. It's something about the frequency of it just doesn't vibe with you, but it possibly is for someone else. Okay, so that person will definitely benefit from that referral. Okay, don't feel bad about it. No bad blood about it because you're still helping someone get an opportunity. Okay, it's just not with you at this time. Okay, so with that being said, let's move on to the next message, which is very lengthy. Okay, it's dealing with Reiki healing. Okay, so someone obviously in the collective is dealing with Reiki, possibly, or aligning chakras as a possible business that they have. So someone does Reiki healing and feels disconnected. You feel disconnected from the crystals that you have, specifically three in your collection that you use for Reiki. Okay, remove the crystals temporarily. Okay, and re-cleanse them. Okay, right now they're not really a fit for your clients. They will be used again, but when the right client comes along, they will need that person, or maybe more than one, will need more so emotional cleansing, not physical. Okay, they'll need you in a sense of emotional healing. Okay, and so those three crystals, and I think you know which ones they are, pull them immediately, but just temporarily re cleanse them. and hold them off to the side, okay? And possibly when you remove them, make sure you're hiding them, or keeping them out of view, so that way no imminent energy is latching onto those crystals while they're trying to be cleansed, okay? So just keep them out of view, okay? So gather the crystals that you, at this point, I think the crystals that you currently have, you gathered them with the thought that they would be customary for all people. And unfortunately, with Reiki healing, just like with me doing tarot, there are different energies for different situations. Okay, energy changes. So you didn't plan ahead for special cases. Okay, so there is possibly more crystals that you either need to obtain for particular situations, just like removing those three until they're needed. You may need to buy, maybe, I'm feeling this energy of maybe like 2 to 6 other crystals. And again, they'll be interchangeable based off of your client's needs. Okay. Because what you don't, you want to be careful that you're not imparting a particular energy on people that's not ready yet. Okay. I kind of do that with my readings. I have my readings set for whatever energy is in the collective, or what the universe is telling me, ancestors are telling me that is needed right now. Such as when I first started, of course, I was doing general, regular writer's weight, just your traditional tarot. But the situations and energy started, changing. And so then I did self care spotlights. And then self care spotlights kind of turned into, um, bring back the intimacy, because people wanted more connection with their partners. And so the energy, as you can tell, kind of shifted. And as I had those readings, the energy was done, and then I let them go. Same thing with tap into your souls. That energy, pretty much I ran through all of the deck, and so there was no need to, have those readings anymore. And so it was time for a switch, and then so on and so forth. So the same thing goes for Reiki as well. Each situation, each client that you have has different needs, okay? So you need those crystals to stand out for that particular client when they need it, okay? And as their energy changes, there's different phases to it, okay? So another thing that is being suggested is the need to adjust your recharge time between clients. Whatever you have it set to now, extend it by 5 minutes, okay? Extend your recharge time between clients by 5 minutes. And change, I cannot stress enough to change the crystals per each client. Don't keep letting that same, even if you do cleanse them in between, it's not enough, because that energy is not only on the crystals, but it's on you as well as the healer, okay? And so a quick charge via, I'm not sure what you're currently using now to recharge your crystals, but I literally saw kind of like a vision of a pyramid grid, or some kind of crystal grid that eminently, of course, also has a charging crystal with it, such as selenite or quartz, okay? Selenite, I believe, is just a little bit more stronger. And if you have your own personal crystals that are in the area in which you heal, you need to move those. And if you have selenite cleansing and protecting your own specific crystals for yourself, you need to make sure, of course, that's protecting those crystals from getting anything else on them, but you are still the owner of those crystals. And so it's going to take your crystals 10 times more power to recharge you, because you are holding, possibly an empath, holding on to whatever your clients are, delving out of their energy, okay? And so I do strongly believe in energy transference, and so you have to be mindful, okay? So take the time to cleanse your crystals definitely before the new year is out. We do have full moon energy that's coming up next Tuesday on the 26th, but I would definitely suggest the new moon to impart new energy onto those crystals along with your cellulite being cleansed as well, and keep those crystals out of view. Okay, those should be personally either on you while you're healing, but also having a protectant over you. Okay, so with in doing that and imparting some good protection over yourself, you also should be allowing yourself enough time to recharge, okay, in between clients. You're not allowing enough time because you're still carrying whatever was going on with the previous client before your next client, okay? And so I would suggest to give yourself at least 30 minutes to an hour, whatever feels comfortable for you, but somewhere in that realm of in between each client, okay? A few things that I would definitely suggest that are in my shop that would be pretty helpful for you is something to kind of help you relax. Is the Golden Bliss herbal loose leaf tea that I have in my shop. It's a 3 blend tea. It has licorice mint. Licorice is not a very prominent flavor in there. There is clove, so that kind of covers over it a little bit as far as that licorice note. It's very subtle, if at all, even there. It's a very earthy blended tea, but very aromatic in berry and citrus and in black English tea. Okay, so it helps with inflammation. It helps as far as a relaxant. It helps with digestive health as far as like bloating and things like that, but also in a sense of a spiritual sense. It invokes a lot of peace. I feel as though every time when I drink the tea myself, I have like this uplifting feeling in my brain in a way where it just feels very airy, almost as if something lifts off from my head space for the crown chakra, if you will. So it's very stimulating in that sense, and it's a good base tea. So you can always add other things to it. I've added ginger to it. I've added orange slice to it. You can drink it hot. You can drink it cold. It does cold brew, and so you can find that on my Etsy shop. I also have meditation oils as well that are considered as calming oils. I would suggest to you guys All Right and Align My Energy. The All Right meditation oil has gin matcha in it and I believe bergamot, but the main stone that you want to pay attention to is green aventurine, which is really good for those who are empathic or need to work on their empathy. But the oil in itself is really good to use in regards to pretty much dealing with conflicts in a positive way. Okay, so if you're dealing with maybe clients that have trouble with their own empathy or deal with internal conflicts, then protect yourself with the All Right meditation oil during the time of your Reiki healing. Just kind of put that on before you go into a session, and maybe drink on that tea before you go in and work on them. Okay, also, the Align My Energy, like I said, is more so of a deep cleanse of the crown chakra because you have to put in a lot of intuition and awareness into your clients as you're healing them. So that has serpentine, it has jasmine, and it has cinnamon in it. Okay, so it definitely gives you that cleansing, but I would suggest to use that maybe like at the end of your day. Give yourself a bath or a shower, however you prefer to cleanse, and then kind of put that on before you go to bed, so that way you can kind of cleanse your head before your next couple of sessions. Okay, and then I would also suggest my ancestral blessing spray. All of my items are handmade by me, so I take the time to actually do the research and actually blend and curate all of the items that you see in my Etsy shop. That spray has its own um, incense powder done from a ancestral offering. I have clove, I have cinnamon in it, a few other, pretty much a total of 9 essential oils in there that are literally made for protection over your house and just to bless yourself with. Occasionally, I use it to just spray around my home. I spray over myself at least 4 times as a protectant instead of using Palo Santo. I mostly like to use that when I'm actually doing a reading, more so than just over myself in the home. And I would definitely also suggest that maybe if you are using Palo Santo, to switch over from using it on yourself because you need something that's of higher elevation, if you will, in protection. Thus, a spray that's more um, and I'm trying to find the word, but it's a better use of protection over yourself than Palo Santo. Palo Santo, while it is a holy wood of protection, it does dissipate pretty quickly. Whereas with my ancestral blessing spray, it's a longer lasting feeling of protection over your home and your house. And it's also a deodorizer at the same time as well. Whereas Palo Santo has that ability to kind of billow, if you will, but it does kind of dissipate after a while. Your clients need Palo Santo instead of sage. I would revert back to sage for your clients to use for their own personal needs, and only because of the situation of how Reiki is or how Reiki works. Again, energy transference. You may want your client to be at ease and relax, but your client may already be in a very high anxiety kind of mindset. And so, what you're trying to impart on them is not really working with sage, okay? Um, and it's probably hardly working with the crystals that you have set in place. You would need to get crystals that promote low anxiety and relaxation in a way, along with protectant over and between you and that client. Okay, so using Palo Santo is more sedative, if you will, than sage is. Sage is something you can send them on their way with to use at home on themselves at a time where you feel like sage would impart that on them, okay? And especially if you're working with clients who are doing Reiki for the first time or receiving Reiki healing for the first time, they may be a little bit skeptical, okay? But just trying to, again, and I'm not, saying anything towards you as a Reiki healer. If you are one, I'm just saying that is something that does happen with Reiki healing, okay? And so using Palo Santo is a little bit stronger for clients in that sense, is what I would use, and then work along with them in phases to getting back to just sage, because sage is something that for someone who's avidly meditating, doing relaxation and things like that on a regular basis on a advanced level, can easily get brought back down to earth with sage, okay? Whereas someone who's on a high energy level needs something a little bit higher, something a little bit more heavy in protection and in vibe and frequency, is what I believe Palo Santo gives. Okay, I can light Palo Santo and be ready to go to sleep if I'm at a level where I'm in highly anxiety, or I feel very high energy in a way that I need to be brought back down as soon as possible. And Palo Santo is stronger than that, than sage. Sage, I barely ever use except for maybe around new moon energy when I want to invoke cleansing for a new beginning, okay, in a way. So it just all depends on your client, and you may have to start diving a little bit deeper into what your client's needs are, so that way you are feeling a strong connection with the crystals to help your client. You want to make sure that you're not transferring your energy onto those crystals that are supposed to be imparted for your clients. And if you're sharing crystals with your clients, then someone's frequency is going to be off, and you're going to need that align my energy again. Okay, so with that being said, I think that is all that I have for you guys today. This was a really nice channeled reading in the sense of kind of tapping into spirituality and having the chance to kind of, share some of my take on it as a spiritualist. So, but those are the two messages that I have for you guys. Um, Other than that, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if this possibly resonates for you, or if you have some suggestions as a spiritualist or a metaphysicalist that you'd like to share with the community in a positive way. Okay, by all means, you can drop that down in the comments. The link to my Etsy shop will be in the description box below. You can also find it on my About Me page, so feel free to check those items out. Very reasonably priced. And like I said, hand curated by me. So would love to hear you guys' feedback on that as well. So until next time, collective, remember this was geared towards Taurus and Pisces sun sign and Cancer, someone with Cancer in their seventh house. Okay, I'll put the two readings so far possibly in a community post so you guys can catch them at another time. So until then, peace.